Council, my name is James Smith. I live in District 8. On February 9th, I was preparing to go, which I did go, to Amber Carr's wake and a funeral the next day. On February 9th, I believe it was February 9th, Manuel Martin was on my block, about a block from my house, and he was arrested. I watched the video of his arrest, and I was appalled because I didn't see anything that he did wrong. In this city, we say, if you see something, say something. Well, I've seen a lot, so now I'm going to speak on it. Manuel Martin has been arrested more times in the city of Fort Worth than need be because each arrest, as you well know, wasn't supposed to be. That's not good police. You want us to trust the police, you want to build a bridge with the community and the police, and then you have incidences like that. Yeah, it's not going to work. It doesn't gel. To watch 5 or more police officers arrive on a scene of filming the police is despicable. If he had a knife or a gun or he was threatening somebody, I could see you calling in 5 or 7 extra officers to deal with the situation. He was on a public sidewalk doing what is illegal, but yet he was arrested. That's not acceptable. Recently, you voted on a motion to have 3 or more council members sign off on what you add to your agenda. I think that was a mute motion, simply because if only one of you were able to put something on the agenda, excuse me, it would take the 9 of you to decide if whatever you put on the agenda got passed or not. So to do that was mute and offensive in my humble opinion. Saturday, March the 11th, we're going to honor Tatiana Jefferson. Well, the neighborhood is going to honor Tatiana Jefferson with the unveiling of the new Hillside Recreation Center name. Months ago, I was told that the city and clergy were going to do something in honor of our Tatiana. I've yet to see or heard what that would entail. So I want to take this opportunity to invite those of you who can to attend the unveiling. And like I've said before, this building, Tatiana's death, is going to be a catalyst of change on the south side.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Our next speaker is Carolyn Rodriguez, followed by Manuel Martin.
Here, Carolina. Thank you for your speech. But one thing he didn't ask was, why do we film the police? Does anybody know why we film the police? We film the police because we have to. And we have to film them because the report that the officer writes doesn't always match what the body camera footage or the video shows. So when there's no body cam footage or if there's not any kind of video, the police officer's always believed over the citizen. It seems like if there is any kind of controversy, the body cam footage would just disappear. But we can film the police, we're allowed to. We have case law that says that we can. One of the case laws is called Turner versus Driver, which started right here in Fort Worth. It occurred right here in Fort Worth, and it established the fact that we are allowed to film police in their public duties. We also have another case law called Houston versus Hill, which says that we're allowed to speak how we want to the police. And of course, we have the First Amendment, which gives us free speech. But they don't want us to film them, and I don't understand why. If they're saying how awesome they are and that they're the best police force ever, what are they hiding when they try to not let us film? Why do they arrest us when we're filming? And if I was a police officer, I'd want somebody to come and film me and see how great I'm doing. Look at me, I'm doing good, look what I'm doing. But they're always trying to hide some of the shady stuff they're doing. And with Manuel Martin, he's not the only one that's been arrested from filming. We have several of us that have been arrested for filming. And they're using a law called, a statute, 38.15 against us, Texas Penal Code 38.15. They're always arresting us for interference with public duties. And the statute reads, and it's in black and white, it says, a person commits an offense if that person with criminal negligence interrupts, disrupts, or impedes police in their public duties. That last video of Manuel Martin, I didn't see him doing any of that. The one before that, I didn't see him doing any of that, and the one before that either. Also, written right into the penal code, it says it is a defense to prosecution under this section that the interruption, disruption, impediment, or the interference consisted of speech alone. So if we're just talking or yakking at them, they're not supposed to be able to arrest us for that. The other thing I wanted to touch on was what Bob was talking about as far as trespassing goes. That's another tactic they're using. They're trespassing us out of public buildings. As far as that goes, is that he was talking about how he can't seem to find out how to fix it. We tried that already. We can't figure out how to fix it either. We've been to the district attorney, we've talked to lawyers, nobody seems to understand it. So you can be trespassed from a public building, but when you're trespassed from a public building, you have to be committing a crime. You have to be disorderly in some way or committing some sort of crime. But they're just kicking us out of buildings just because, and that's a violation of your 14th Amendment, and also your First Amendment, because if you're gonna just kick us out just because, you might as well put in the black water fountains and the white water fountains again. That's it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Manuel Martin.
Hello, my name is Manuel Martin, and I live in District 9. And I normally come up here to talk about the gun violence in and my youth, the kids in my neighborhood. I'm trying to help them, but it seems like no one's understanding this whole thing with the police. So I'm gonna try to make it clear, okay? I've tried internal affairs. I have about 25 complaints that were sustained by internal affairs, but it didn't stop them. I went to oversight police monitors. I have about 6 with them. It was the same way. They agreed with the internal affairs. They still didn't stop, right? Their only argument with me is how I talk to them, that because I raised my voice. And to me, that's trying to get them out of their little trip they're on, right? Because in their own policies, they state when they approach a suspect, they have to gain control, compliance. And one of the key things that they always say, we're allowed to use force to gain compliance. So whether it be assertive, we're allowed to punch them, we're allowed to pepper spray them, we're allowed to tase them to gain compliance. What's happening here is they're getting mad because of the way I talk to them when I'm explaining to them what is the penal code that I am violating by standing right here filming y'all. So I've asked for help that y'all provided. Y'all keep getting reports that say y'all need something different because it's not working. So those that want a community oversight, it's needed, because what y'all have is a police chief that'll come down here and try to explain that he's involved in the community. He is not. I'm the biggest person that understands this problem because my focus is in Central Division B and A and the South. I can tell y'all about a story about the South Division where they can't even understand what they found in an officer's locker. I am getting arrested. I've been arrested 8 times for filming in a public space. And the only thing that they're mad about is because I raised my voice. I'm assertive. And I tried to explain to him what Turner versus Driver and the actual penal code, which I have. I have everything. I even have your 97-page report, your own policies. I studied everything. But why am I the bad guy? Because I'm pointing out a problem that no one wants to talk about, and y'all had 2 years to figure it out. And I can go further back if y'all need me to. I stick with facts, black and white, where it's simple.
Thank you, Mr. Mata. Council, that's the last of our speakers this evening. Meeting is adjourned.